Why can you perceive every other person as a physical being sitting here in this room? Because you are designed to perceive the physical rays of light through your eyes. You see the physical bodies of the people around you. These physical bodies are real for you. They would not be there for you if your eyes were not there to see them. So too, pain and pleasure are present in each of these people in countless nuances. There is a world in each one of them that is just as rich as the world you see with your eyes. It is a rich world of pain and pleasure. And there is a second body, just as real as your physical body, which permeates the physical body completely. You cannot say that only what you see is real, only what you perceive physically. Each of you knows that a world of pain and pleasure lives in you, really lives in you just as much as muscle and nerve live in you. Only because your spiritual eyes are not yet opened do you not see these realities. If your eyes were open to this, then just as you see their skin color and clothing, you would see that all those around you are permeated by forces and beings that are real, and that we can identify as pain or pleasure. For those whose sense is open to these realities, this world is just as real as the physical world. In addition to the physical body, there is also the astral body in every human being. It is called that because it shimmers in a bright light for the clairvoyant. This light is the expression of an individual's entire life of pain and pleasure, of everything that lives in him or her as feeling. Not only do you know that you consist of flesh and blood, but other people can see it as well. But your feelings of pain and pleasure are present only for you, as long as another does not perceive them. Your astral organism is somewhat bigger than your physical body, extending a bit beyond it. Think of a hall in which a gathering of people is taking place, and in which various lecturers are speaking. If a clairvoyant looks into the room with seer's eyes, he or she perceives not only the spoken words, not only the sparkling eyes and the speaker's physiognomy, but also something else. A clairvoyant would see how passions play over from the speaker to the other people, how the sensations and feelings in the speaker glow, and, for example, whether the speaker is speaking out of anger or enthusiasm. A clairvoyant would see that someone speaking out of enthusiasm has the fire of the astral body streaming forth to the listeners. And with a large audience, a clairvoyant would see a multitude of rays calling forth pain or pleasure in the speaker. There is an interplay of temperaments that unfolds openly and clearly in front of the seer. This astral world of which we are a part is just as real as the external world in which we live. It was not for nothing, not without a purpose, that the Theosophical movement has pointed out the existence of these invisible worlds of which human beings are a part, and into which we are constantly sending our actions. When cognition of higher worlds is further developed, that is when one ascends in the way I have described from imaginative knowledge to inspired knowledge. Then one recognizes what one is really seeing. And to depict this as wings is a distortion, but then it is not so easy to recognize the reality. However, the moment the ascent is made from imagination to inspiration, then by careful observation, one gradually realizes what takes the place of, say, the right arm and hand. Let me put it this way. You will agree that we make a lot of movements with our arms. According to materialistic critics, a dreadful lot of movement is carried out in eurythmy. People who do not understand eurythmy cannot bear it. But when you observe with inspired cognition what is done by the movements in eurythmy, you no longer see the arms and hands. All you see are their movements. All the individual movements are all there, and because they all merge into one another, they look like wings. Well, people who are not eurythmists also move their arms. In fact, most of the movements done by human beings are done with the arms. All the movements, their curves and forms, become visible. See drawing orange. Everything physical, muscles, flesh, bones, ceases to be visible, whereas all movements become visible. And it is the same with the legs. I said yesterday that the movements man makes are not confined within the body. In order to point to something useful, I spoke of chopping wood rather than of sport. When someone chops wood, he makes continuous movements. All these are also visible when one ascends from imagination to inspiration. However, man causes things to happen not only through his body. He does so also by means of thoughts, perhaps through other people. All the events that he causes to take place gradually become visible, particularly as one ascends from inspiration to intuition. In short, when we contemplate the pole of will, all that at death is placed in the grave ceases to be visible, whereas all man's deeds gradually become visible. After a person's death, what is still in existence are all the deeds he has carried out. That has further life and continues to exist. What passes through the gate of death can be said to be a birth of will. So you see, as regards the limbs, we must choose a different approach in order to find the transition from the physical aspect of man to the soul. And the same applies to the metabolic system. We have now considered from a certain aspect the nature of man's senses, and also what, so to speak, constitutes his will nature, that is, the source of his actions. To enable us to proceed further, let us return to the pole of the senses. Let us look back with imaginative and inspired consciousness and see what becomes of a sense organ, let us say the eye.